Hey, 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 I'm back. So today I want to talk about the little things, the basic things that a performer, a singer needs to do when they are performing live. And I'm not talking about live with instruments, okay? I'm talking about performing live with a track. When a singer is performing live, anything can go wrong. Now, not just a singer, a dancer, a poet, an actor. So anytime you're performing, something can go wrong. Okay? And when that thing goes wrong, unless you're truly professional and experienced, okay, your performance can totally be destroyed. Okay? And usually the crowd, they don't know what's going on. They just see a mess up there. They don't know why you're a mess. Sometimes they're thinking, oh, they just can't sing. They just, no. Usually it happens and people don't even know the behind the scenes of what's going on. Like for someone like me, I do a really, really good job hiding it, even though I can be super annoyed, but I try my best to just get through the song. Okay? So basically, when you're singing a song or when you're performing, okay, you need to make sure that you have the date and the time and the occasion, okay, and the place at which you're performing, like where they putting you in the program. You need to make sure that that's all set before you get there. Because sometimes people invite you to events and they try to play you, okay? So be careful with that. Don't get played. Don't get used. Because people will get disrespectful sometimes. They don't care if you're Beyonce, if you're Kirk Franklin, if you're Jesus Christ. They will get disrespectful. And they will try to get away with things if they can. So you need to make sure that you're setting yourself up so that you are as successful as possible, so that when your performance is done, so that you also in turn feel good. Because the performance is not just for the people, okay? So people are happy, they love the performance, but you, as the performer, you want to come off that stage feeling like you did a great job too. Okay? So now in order to do a great job, sometimes it's not just about your talent. Sometimes it's not just about how well you can sing. Because there are so many things that are involved, okay, in your performance that is out of your control. Okay? So always make sure you know your date, you know your time, you know exactly when you get there, where exactly in the program they placed you. And sometimes it's important that you know why they place you where they place you. Because the song that you're singing, the choices that you make will be influenced by where you placed in the program. So it's important that you know that, okay? So when you get there, make sure that you arrive on time. A professional is always on time. Are there times when you might make it, and when I say on time, if they say 7:30, I don't mean get there at 7:30. That's not what on time is when you're performing. When you're performing, you want to get there before the performance time. Why? Because there's a lot of things that need to be set up before you get on that stage. So if the show or the program starts at 7:30, you cannot get there at 7:30 and turn in your track. No, that's not how it works, okay? And remember, this video is about people using a track. I'm not talking about live bands right now because that's a whole nother thing. So it's important that you get there on time. And I would suggest at least an hour before or 30 minutes before, okay? So now when you get there, the first thing you do is find the sound engineer. This is going to be your best friend. Why? Because they are in control of what your performance is going to sound like. And the sound is very important because it's going to definitely affect your performance. If your sound is bad, if your sound is trash, If your sound is crappy, then most likely people may not receive it well. Not because you're doing anything wrong, but because they're distracted, because it's coming out wrong. So of course, even at the end when everybody goes, a lot of the time they're doing it to cheering you up, not because you did such a great job, okay? So that sound engineer, you need to see him or her immediately. And there's a conversation that needs to happen between you and that person. Because a lot of the times what I'm seeing also, there are sound engineers that are not professional in terms of they're not taking what they're doing seriously. They're distracted. While they're doing your sound, they're playing with their phones. And then meanwhile, the song started playing with the track. You can't hear nothing. Okay? The monitors are not on. Okay? And then because you can't hear yourself. Meanwhile, you can't hear yourself, but the crowd, they can hear you. They don't know what you're going through on that stage. Okay? They don't know that you cannot hear yourself. When you open your mouth and on singing in that mic, and then it's not EQ'd properly, it's not coming out properly, a lot of the times, people in the crowd, they can hear you properly. But in those monitors, if those monitors are not good quality or they're not working properly, you can't hear yourself. And people don't know that. Okay? So this is why it's important when you get there that you see the sound engineer immediately so you can have these conversations with the sound engineer. So now I'm gonna go as far as saying you need to do a sound check. Number 3. So what is a sound check? Sound check is actually playing the track and actually getting on that stage and sing it as if you were already in the program or as if the show has already started. Very important because why? You're going to be able to know and hear the monitors and know exactly what's going on with that sound and what kind of sound you're getting. Because you don't want a surprise when you get on that stage. Okay? Now, another thing. Once you're done doing your sound check, you go and you sit down. You make sure that you look at the program. You make sure that you talk to the host. Okay? You want to make sure that the host is introducing you properly also. Any information that they need to know about you before they call you on stage, if you have a resume and sometimes you may not have a resume yet, but it's always good that the host introduce you properly so that the crowd knows who's coming to sing. So that if they need to follow you on IG, on Facebook, on YouTube, because that's how you also grow your following. That's how you get your fans, okay? There are no artists or performers who are successful without fans. You're nothing if nobody likes your music. I'm sorry. Are you writing songs for yourself? Okay? So it's very important that the host knows who you are. You go to the host, find the host, and make sure that they present you properly to that crowd. Okay? Now, another thing that you need to make sure that you do, and I'm going to let you go. When you get on that stage, your mic. A lot of people, and I'm not just talking about singers right now, you have to have control of that mic. And I will do another video about how to control your mic, but that's not what we're doing right now. Right now, I'm just talking about the little basic things that you need to make sure that you do so that your performance can go well. Okay? Now, that mic needs to be in your mouth. You see my hand? Like this. This is how you hold the mic. Whether you're speaking, if the mic is not a wireless, and this is one of those mics that you come in front of the mic and then you could kind of like move it or touch it or whatever. You need to make sure that your mouth is like this. The mic needs to be facing your mouth, okay? Just make sure it's not touching your mouth because there's probably a lot of spit on that thing. You don't know how many mouths have touched that thing, so be careful. But that mic needs to be like this. You don't hold a mic like this. No, that's not how you hold a mic. I'm sorry. Okay? This is not how. Because you want people to hear you. And you want people to hear you loud and clear. You want your presence to invade the space. You want to be in complete control. There's nothing better and greater than when you're holding that mic properly and that beautiful voice comes out. Okay? All right, so I gotta go. All right, make sure you like and subscribe. Leave me a little comment, okay? If there are any other topics in terms of singing and performing that you would like to know, these are just little tricks and tips that I'm giving you based on my own experience, okay? If anything that you want to share to help out in the community as well, that's welcome. So I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.